one of the canneries. There was a big boat there all during the evening, maybe unloading or doing something. And then there's another cannery right over here. When the boats come in, these two places are real busy as the boats queue up. Right now, we've just ended an opener, so nobody's coming in.
Well, this one won't come off, so I decided to use them for bait.
Okay.
Should I show them all the other fish I caught?
Okay. Wait a minute, we can walk.
Well, we caught 12 last night.
Oh my gosh, Ben.
At about 10 o'clock.
You caught all those, huh?
Yep. I caught a bit more, but you get sick of them. So you just cast them out and see if they fall off.
Can I stand back and we'll see how you cast and all that stuff? Hold on.
Sure. Well, you just sort of grab a string, pull back, draw kind of a back. See, you shouldn't cast with a herring jig. It's not too good because there's lots of hooks and it gets tangled.
Okay.
The pole, the reel, and one determined shot. That was a good one.
Fight him, Ben. Fight him, baby.
I'll catch one.
I know you will. You having fun?
Yeah.
What did you buy this morning?
A baseball. A squishy, safe baseball. And I have 90% of chance of getting an injury. That's what it said on the box.
Pittsburgh behind us.
Well, it's the 24th of June. We're heading out from Petersburg. And Tim noticed this first seiner pulling up his net. And off in the background you can see the Conch Glacier up in the mountains. It comes into the sea back behind those hills. Way down that way. And that's a view of Petersburg looking back. As you can see, it's a very nice day today. Some blue sky and white fluffy clouds. We're heading over to Thomas Bay. Try our luck maybe at some halibut fishing. Ben's been down below learning latitude and longitudes. He gets 25 cents for every correct waypoint that he finds. And just today he's learning to get course directions and distance. He's anxious for me to check them, so I'm going to do that now.
The far boat, yeah, it's using the power block to pull in its net, while the skiff keeps the boat from drifting over the net and tangling in its prop.
It's June 26th, and last night we stayed in Cape Fenshaw, behind an island, and we're motoring along. We saw this big school of whales out in front. Well, big, maybe 5 or 6. So we're just motoring up to them.
They're feeding over there. See how he turns?
Which
aren't going vertical.
When we went in past Cape Fenshaw, I saw a lot of fish on the fish finder, and this morning we went back and
we go neutral.
Trolled, and we
fluke sideways. That's feeding behavior right there.
We trolled past the Cape, and after about 2 or 3 passes, Tim caught about an 8-pound king salmon. So we're going to have salmon for dinner and lunch tomorrow. Now we're just motoring slowly up to these guys. And you heard Tim talking in the background. Ben's right next to me, watching this goings on. Want to say something, Ben?
Hi.
Look to your right. See the bubbles? That's bubble netting right there. This is great. This is really a show.
I hope mine hits our boat.
Man, I gotta get my camera. What a show.
Could I take a picture, Dad?
Yeah, with my camera?
Yeah.
Okay.
For me? I
Yeah.
own it? The picture?
Yeah, use the telephoto lens though. He's breathing. I can hear him breathing.
Sure. Of the mom's fin and the baby's fin going down.
See the circle of bubbles?
Here it comes.
Yep, they'll come right up to me.
Got it. Oh.
Perfect. I got it right when its tail was all the way in the air. Okay, 2's enough. No, it's
You were really close now.
You scared you're gonna hit your boat? Obviously. I want to get a breaching shot.
Here we go. Bubbles starting on there. Watch them. They'll just come up in a spiral.
Uh-oh. Here it is, folks.
It's spiraling to the right. Still spiraling to the right. They'll come up right in the middle of that.
That's close. Uh-oh.
Still going to the right. Look right in the middle of that circle. Getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Uh-oh.
Here he comes.
Am I pointed in the right direction here?
Watch the bubbles. He's getting real small. Now he'll
Right
come up.
there, Dad.
He'll come up in the middle of them. Here he comes up. Mouth full. Oh, big bunch of water. He's rolling over, just squeezing the water out of his mouth. And he'll dive down.
Here comes his tail.
Yep. Up. No flukes. Still, he might be feeding on little herrings.
Jeez, oh.
Gee.
Beautiful.
Like what I wouldn't give for a harpoon.
There's some salmon.
Look at fellas.
This is really good.
We're gonna die.
Bubbles getting smaller. See the bubbles? The ring's getting smaller. The whale will come up any minute.
I don't see the salmon.
Just keep watching the bubbles. See the bubbles?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Here he comes. Here he comes.
No.
Ben's onto a salmon here. We're still in the school of whales, and there was a lot of salmon around. Ben already brought one on board, which we let go. See if he can land this guy.
I caught that!
Hold on to my rod because there's a fish on it.
Ben's
I
third
got it.
salmon of the day.
Just leave it in the water, Ben. Give it line. Just let it run. You're not ready.
We're still surrounded by these whales breathing away.
Tell him I caught it.
You tell. Look out here around the mast.
Came loose.
Oh.
Yep, your fish just came off.
Good.
Is this only supposed to have one hook? Came on.
We're surrounded by whales and salmon. Here are the whales. Poor camera doesn't know what to focus on. We're entering Holcomb Bay here, which is the entrance to Tracy and Endicott Arm. And what you see is a whole lot of icebergs floating around in the water, kind of an interesting blue color. Right now we're following the range, or I hope we are. Tim's driving. That's the red marker over there that we're trying to keep away from, but we've got to favor that rather than the left.
14 fathoms cup.
There you can see the swirling at the shallow spot of the entrance. I'm going to put away the camera now and help drive through that. I'm going to focus on.
Well, now you're focusing on the thing in front of you.
Yep.
Your lens is hitting the infinity. You'll be fine.
As you can see, folks, this is an extremely dangerous spot. Whoops. Extremely dangerous spot. Where the hell is the spot? Oh, there it is. We're going to put Ben on this iceberg. Try and take a picture of him standing out on that little skinny piece off to the right.
Boys, look up.
Ben, if you're going to go on the iceberg, wear your life jacket or Mom will get angry, okay?
But do you think that little outboard's powerful enough to push the iceberg?
Ben, you got your skis?
Yeah, the light.
In case I hit something, I'm going to hit something. Tell me, Tim, okay? slowly motoring over toward our anchorage. And I hope none of this ice comes in during the night.
Blurs.
Want to repeat that announcement?
No. Shouldn't we pull Ben in now? I think he's turning blue. He's I think, had enough swimming.
Off to our starboard as we enter Tracy Arm here, there's what looks like a square rig ship coming out. I'm wondering if it is in the Pride of Baltimore. Somebody told me it would be up here in a week or two. We'll see when it goes by. We're going to see if this is the Pride of Baltimore coming out of the ice. What a neat sight, whatever it is. Stand by for boarding. Prepare the grappling hooks. Sharpen your cutlasses. Heat the grape shot. What a neat boat to see up here. I don't know what it is. Let's see if it's the Pride.
Yeah, why is that?
Pride of Baltimore. There it is. Well, folks, we've done it again. 1994. Back in the ice. Back in the land of adventure. As the Pride of Baltimore sails out into the ice, and we look for our anchorage for the night, all we can say is that Richard of Alaska did it again. But he didn't do it single-handed, man. He did it with his crew. His crew, Tim, is providing the music, and Ben is providing the dancing. Tim studied at the American Conservatory of Music for 16 years to learn that, folks. It's true he was a slow learner. Other people learned it in a minute.
In Alaska, this is bait. This is not considered a salmon. Richard of Berkeley calls this a salmon. If true Richard of Alaska knew this is not a salmon, this is bait in Alaska.
Bait?
You want to catch salmon, you use this.
Okay. Anyhow, Tim caught that this morning. We just had a nice salmon salad lunch from the king salmon that Tim caught without a salmon stem. Ah, I said it. He's going to commit suicide now. How about a dance, Ben? What are you doing?
He's preparing for the great finale.
You have great rhythm, Ben.
You're doing rhythm.
I can't.
Very good. Too bad John Philip Sousa isn't here to hear you. He'd immediately make you a member of his band. Hold that. Just hold that. I got to zero in. Once more, Ben. Well, folks,
Things grow fast up here in Alaska. This is about 2 days of growth in Alaska. Now, if I was down in California, this would be 2 months. Things are incredible. It's a slow growing season up here, a short growing season, so you have to really make up for it. Exciting.
you know, I think the people are going to wonder how we secreted away 116 musicians on this little boat. Well, folks, it's time to end this video portion as we go into our anchorage. Today is the 4th of July, 1994. I've just left the little cove at the entrance to Holcomb Bay with Tom Peterson, and we're going to go down to Ford's Terror. The other 2 times I've been in here, it was very gray and wet. We woke up to a gorgeous morning where you could see the tops of the mountains and the glaciers. There's some advection fog forming down by the water. But it's just a stellar day. Way over there, maybe you can see it in the cut in the trees, is the range that we use for getting across the two shoals that enter the bay. It's about 7:45 in the morning, and we hope to be at Ford's Terror in a little under 4 hours to be there at high slack water and go through and see that pretty scenery. Tomorrow either we'll come back here and then go up Tracy Arm the day before, the next day, or we'll see what the weather's like, maybe go across Stevens Passage and check out the waters on the west side of Stevens Passage. We got here in one day from Juneau. It was 50 miles. It wasn't a very pleasant trip. The wind was on the nose all the way, and it was motor sailing right into a pretty choppy sea and very gray and miserable. But today's gorgeous, so maybe we'll have much better weather now. We're approaching the entrance to Endicott Arm, and there's a nice view of the Dum Dum Glacier. It's a hanging glacier. It terminates up in the mountains. It doesn't make it down to the sea to become a tidewater glacier. Kind of a short one. Although the mountain there, Dum Dum Mountain, is over a mile high, 5,600 feet. Again, there's the scenery we're leaving behind us as we leave the Anchorage. Just a really stellar morning. It's on Dum Dum and the Dum Dum Glacier. There's Tom with his telephoto, bringing it all closer. Just outstanding weather today, or anyways this morning. Now I gotta watch out for ice. Again, that's the Dum Dum Glacier. Nice view. First time we've seen it. As we motor along, our main concern is to avoid icebergs. The bigger ones are real easy to see, but it's the small ones that are clear and down low in the water that can creep up on you and cause a nasty smash in the boat. The big ones are very beautiful. Some of them are really quite deep blue, others kind of a whitish blue. Once or twice you see when it's almost a purplish color, especially down near the water. Anyhow, we're going to motor along and keep our eyes open. We should be at the entrance to Ford's Terror in about 3 hours, and then we have to wait for high slack water to get in. We're still proceeding up Endicott Arm, and there's a really massive iceberg here, and I thought this might be a good example of showing the blue color of it. I don't know how that'll turn out in this video, but it's a really quite a deep blue. I guess it's about the size of Burge Hall. Of course, that's just a tenth of it we're seeing. Out in front of us, the surface is pretty much covered with ice, even though we're almost we're over 20 miles away from the Dawes Glacier. Just a whole lot of icebergs out there. I better get back in the cockpit just before this thing turns over, because we're pretty close to it. There were a whole bunch of seal pups on this thing a moment ago, and maybe about a dozen, and they all flopped in the water except this guy.
Way too long, Johnny.
Yeah. Wish I had a club. This is what the scenery looks like as we proceed down Endicott Arm towards Ford's Terror. Dawes Glacier is about 9 miles around that bend up ahead. And Ford's Terror is just over there where you see that point of land. That's the entrance to the inlet. We're a little bit behind schedule because they're picking up ice, although should arrive at the Narrows just at about exactly the time that it's supposed to go slack. Really fantastic scenery. I hope the video can capture that. There's lots of ice in the water, but it's easy to avoid it. We're just going through the Narrows now at Ford's Terror and following an Nonsuch 30 in. When we first got here, we were ahead of that boat, and I was staying to the left of the channel, and I just could not find a passage. There were some kayakers and what looked like a bunch of rocks. I thought, God, I can't get through there. And then the Nonsuch came, and he went over to the right-hand side, and he found that I wasn't looking at the right passage at all. So we followed him through here without any problems. And pretty soon I suppose the Narrows are going to open up. We're right, it seemed to be very close to exactly slack water. There's about 1 knot or a half a knot pushing me through. And it's just the time I calculated based on 20 minutes after high water at Juneau. So we'll see how this goes. It's beautiful scenery, and as you see, the day is still gorgeous. I didn't think there was a glacier up here, but there's some ice in the water. Either it floated in, or I'm wrong and there is a glacier. We're supposed to anchor near Waterfall in about 3 miles. We'll see what that looks like. Well, we're now through the Narrows and into Ford's Terror. And as you can see, it's a lovely spot. The cliffs go up close to 1 mile on both sides. Sort of like your own private Yosemite Valley filled with water. I guess we're the only 2 boats up here. Nobody came out, so there must not have been anybody up here, and nobody was coming in behind us. So maybe we'll get acquainted with these folks. Anyhow, that's Ford's Terror. Just playing with the focus, not myself here. We really are lucky with the weather today. I'll turn around and show you the scenery behind. That's the view looking back into the Narrows. Very much like a Sierra picture, just that it's seawater. We're sailing downwind in Ford's Terror, looking at the scenery, and we just saw this real nice waterfall. Down here, comes down and down, and comes out there someplace, I guess. Very spectacular. There's the view looking back. There's a little of the view looking forward. We're about to make a left-hand turn. I bet I don't have a wide-angle lens on there. You can't really show up the scenery very well this way. There's that same waterfall, but with a little fuller picture of it. Now here's a shot of the end of Ford's Terror that we're going to go up and anchor in. I guess this was the, I don't know, the left fork. The boat that went in ahead of us is already anchored over there, if you can see it. Very tall mountains out behind it. I would guess around 6,000 or 7,000 feet. This is really a gorgeous place. We're so lucky to have a clear blue day. Can't be more than a few of these days a year up here. That's the opposite fork, the right-hand one. Maybe we'll go up there in the dinghy and explore it later. Oh, he's excited.
I wonder if he might be calling others. Say, hey, we got...
Calling him to come and sink us? Who's breathing near us here? This is fantastic. Oh, I was exhausted. Stop! Stop! See, it's about June 8th or 9th today, and we're halfway between Pybus Bay and Cake. I think that whale just came in and told him to behave himself. I guess we're only 150 yards away, because there's about a half a second time delay between the smack and the sound. It's the evening of June 10th. I left Cake this afternoon with Michael Shapiro, and we've just come across Chatham Straits, where we caught a salmon as we entered a beautiful place called Red Bluff Bay. There was tomorrow's an opener for purse seiners, and that's a fish buying ship there. It looks like a real derelict. It's called the Arctic Fisher. Let's see, I guess I'm on manual focus here, okay. And I'll just pan around forward in this beautiful spot. Hold on, gang. I just put it on automatic focus. So we're looking about halfway up this Red Bluff Bay. This is on Baranof Island. It's a long, narrow bay, quite Yosemite-like, although nothing like Ford's Terror. Goes back about 3 miles. That's the midpoint up ahead. There's one sailboat anchored in the bay. You can probably just make it out there. That's one good anchorage. Any place is good here. We're going to probably go through those narrows and go into the bay beyond. Well, everything's going just fine. Tom left yesterday morning. Michael came yesterday evening. There was a little screw up with his luggage, so instead of leaving last night, we left around 2 o'clock today, but everything's just fine. The weather's overcast, but dry. And we're going to get in here, have the salmon we caught for dinner, and put down its head in the crab trap and see what happens after that. There's Michael looking out. Oh, I guess he's not infinitely far away.
We are at the edge of the Arctic Circle, going up this little bay. You see a Jolly Roger flying on this single-mast ship here. Bears are frolicking over in the sunshine over there. We just caught a mammoth salmon we're about to have for dinner.
Thank you, Roald Amundsen. Oops, there's the view. Looking back. Slow pan around the entrance to Red Bluff Bay. Da, 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 da.
There's some more crab pots.
We're getting towards the back end of Red Bluff Bay now, and we came upon this very pretty cascade. It's going up several hundred feet. I guess to put it in perspective, when you figure the trees there by the shore are pretty tall evergreens. We're about in the middle of the back section of Red Bluff Bay. It's a real pretty bowl from this angle. It doesn't really do it justice. Maybe tomorrow as we go out, I'll pan back up it. It's the morning of July 11th. We just left Red Bluff Bay, and coming out, I thought I'd take a picture of some of the mountains that are fringing the whole length of Baranof Island. It's a beautiful, clear morning. We're going to go over here off this point, try and catch some bottom fish or halibut. A fellow I know said that the fishing was real good there. And then we're going to go about 50 miles down Chatham Strait and go over to the other side. I think that's Kuprianof Island or Q Island or Kuyu Island, and find sanctuary for the night. There's the Michael.
Hey, what a day. Unbelievable experience. Make your reservations early.
Okay, well, that's Kim steering the boat. There's the new depth sounder fish finder that I bought. That's a great depth sounder, and sometimes it shows fish too, but it's much better than the old one. So we're gonna go on down the line and see what happens. It's still June 11th, and we're about 2 hours south of Red Bluff Bay, and I put into another long inlet, or well, 5 miles long, called Gut Bay, and it's equally lovely scenery. We just caught 4 rockfish outside. which Mike filleted and we'll probably have for dinner today. We're not looking down to the very end of this inlet, just over there where you can't see. It makes a sharp turn to the right, and then there's another 2 or 3 miles going back into the mountains. The mountains are really nice today because it's so clear. They look a lot like the Sierras, I guess, except there's less soil on them. That mountain way over there must be very tall. Like 5,000. As you can see, there's one power boat over there. That's about the first boat that we've seen all day. Where is he? There's someplace. Wow. Oh yeah, he's right there. Today's an opener for the purse seiners, but we haven't seen any, so they're not fishing Chatham Straits. So we're going to turn around, head out of here, and go south. Excuse me. So that's Gut Bay. Beautiful place. There's no real anchorage in here because it's so deep, except for a little bay down there where that boat is, which you can only get into at about high water. Still later on a June 11th. Still a clear day, and I'm crossing Chatham Straits from Baranof Island, which you see off there, going over to the southern end of Kuiu Island. It's a beautiful day for crossing. Michael's down below sleeping. It's about 2:15 in the afternoon. And the sea, as you see, is very calm. And the sky blue. Baranof Island is one of the biggest islands in southeast Alaska. It's probably about 90 or 100 miles long and 50 miles wide. Got just majestic scenery the whole length, many bays and inlets. It's July 13th, and as you can see, the weather is still holding just beautifully. We're anchored in a little cove behind the Barrier Islands near Prince of Wales Island, and that's Mount Calder. It's just off to the side of us. We're anchored here for lunch after staying in Louise Cove last night. We're anchored here and we're trying to fish. We're going to go a few miles north to Hole in the Wall on Prince of Wales Island, and then tomorrow go around to Point Protection at St. John's Harbor. There's Michael.
Well, the fish are jumping. They're just not biting. But we'll get them.
We'll get him. I'm making lunch down below and waiting for a big halibut to take my piece of herring.
Otherwise, we eat herring.
Otherwise, we eat herring. We sailed over here this morning with a beautiful beam breeze, about 10 or 11 knots, and didn't take very long at all to get here. Came in behind the island, which I thought would be really good for halibut, but no nibbles as yet. So, Mount Calder.
Bear.
Oh yeah, we saw a bear this morning on the shore in Louise Cove, and a couple of sea otters. So, Mount Calder, July 13th, 1994. You were... Today's the 15th of July, and we're just leaving St. John's Harbor on the way to Wrangell. And we just noticed this fishing boat up on the rocks. Not something good to happen to you. It's another blue day, Mike said. Michael Shapiro's had 5 days of sunshine. There's lots of fishing boats out. We've got about a 4-hour run into Wrangell. Well, it's July 21st already. I haven't taken many videos lately. What you see off in the distance is Prince Rupert. I'm just ending a week with John Davis. We came from Wrangell to Prince Rupert in about 6 days. by way of Annan Bay, Vixen Harbor, and a bunch of other places through in the log. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. Last week was gorgeous when Mike Shapiro was on board. Then when John came, the weather turned foul for a few days, and I thought we'd really have lousy weather. But we only had about 2.5 days of the bad weather, and then it cleared up. Sorry to jiggle around. Anyhow, that's Prince Rupert off in the distance, and we'll be coming in soon to clear customs and refuel. John's leaving tomorrow morning, and Rose is going to show up for a week on the boat. That'll be interesting, and also Jan Northby and his daughter. I haven't heard from Jan since we exchanged emails about 2.5 months ago, so it'll be interesting to see if this all comes together. I should just turn around and get a picture of John for the record.
This side?
Yeah, I just got to get a record of you.
Okay.
So there's John. Okay.
Good cruise.
Do you have anything to say for posterity?
Yeah, great.
Okay.
This is like, oh, cool.
It's the 24th of July. We're in West Inlet and Grenville Channel. There's the famous low temperature physicist Jan Northby going out for his morning exercise.
Yo, hey. Yo, come back.
What did I do wrong?
Hey Kate, turn around so we can record you. That's Kate Northby. And Rose is also on board. We left Prince Rupert yesterday morning and had a nice combination of motoring and sailing into the top end of the Grenville Channel and came into this nice inlet. Has a logging cap on it. We're at quite a low tide this morning. There's a big tidal flat over there with big clams that are squirting up in the air. I wonder if they'll show up here.
Are we gonna run out of battery before? Wait, you have a watch, don't you?
I don't know. Today we'll go south, stop at Clue Nugget for lunch, and then Lowy Inlet for the evening. And move on to Bishop Bay tomorrow.
Now I'll see whether I make that island look small,
Okay.
far away, or whether I bump right into it. I think I'm gonna bump
No,
right
don't bump into it. The boat will sink.
It'll be interesting to see how high those rocks are. I bet they're over 6 feet off the water. These rocks were exposed at low tide, and from the boat they look about 3 feet high. But as you can see, as Jan rows over to them, they're really quite high. The tidal range today is 19 feet. So it's July 24th, 1994, and here's Rose on her vacation in British Columbia. We're anchored here in Clue Nugget Inlet, which is one of my favorite places. And it's a real warm day. I'd say it's about 80 degrees. And Rose just has an overwhelming urge to go swimming.
There you go.
So she's going to swim around. It's refreshing.
I want to dive off the boat.
Don't push me, Kate, while I have the camera.
Yes, yes. It's cold and salty.
You'll get used to it.
How long does that take?
Huh? You'll see it after you climb back into...
Very, very refreshing. Can barely breathe.
I bet you'll go back in again.
Maybe not.
No, usually once you get out, you warm up and you go right back in again.
Well, come on, Kate, you're next.
Well, I said I want to dive off, but we got safety lines all around here.
Having a great time up here in British Columbia.
I don't want to dive in.
Let's let's see. Yesterday we went to a little beach and Kate dug us up 15 clams. We had a lot of discussion, about whether to eat them, and we decided not to.
So we
we
wouldn't
didn't
go
wanna
home
show
with any
Kate.
good crew members.
We hadn't really lived yet. And Dick made us a nice dinner.
It's cold.
A nice stew dinner. And we had peach screwdrivers. That's Kate. She's 17. Very enthusiastic crew person. You want me to help you in?
Now she'll get up.
I'm gonna use the whole.
Okay, I think I'm gonna end this now,
Right,
Rose.
here's some bruises that I have from trying to save the bucket that I lost before. But I didn't save it.
Okay. I'm back. This is Cootsie Inlet. It's July 27th. I'm here with Jan Northby, his daughter Kate, and Roseanne. It's a gorgeous inlet. And they're about to go up to a nice waterfall that we're anchored by. That's Kate and Jan. There's part of the waterfall we're anchored near. It goes up into the mountains and made of snow runoff. Too bad I don't have an even wider angle video to see all this gorgeous scenery. Those are the mountain tops that are just all around us. There's a river, the Cootsie River, coming in over there. Rose got all upset because Jan and I went up it yesterday without telling her. She thought we were lost at sea. And there they go. Today we're going to head for Clem 2 to buy fuel. It's about 30 miles away. Well, Rose and crew are now on the shore over there. And then we're going to walk up to the waterfall, which is very big. Probably goes up about 1,000 feet. Maybe more. Let's see if we can find Rose and crew. I think that's Jan. Today is August 3rd, 1994. It's the last week of the Alaskan trip. We've just passed Green Rapids, and we're trolling past a place called Pinckney Point. That's Professor Stefano up there. He just explained why we have some warm air. You have anything to say for posterity?
For posterity?
Yeah. Nothing. He's very deep. Very deep. Anyhow, we had an interesting day today. We left at about 8 o'clock, went out into Johnstone Straits, where it was rather foggy. The GPS let us know where we were, and then we followed a sailboat that had radar. So we figured he would avoid the collisions, and he did. And it's been clear the last few hours. I haven't seen many boats fishing for salmon, so probably we won't catch one. That's Pinckney Point. I'll just pan around here. Everything's been going fine the last couple of weeks. Stefano leaves in 2 days, and then I'll be single-handing from Powell River down to Anacortes, where we'll haul the boat out and have it trucked back. This may be the last of the Pacific Northwest trips, or anyways the last of the Alaska trips on Dancer. Maybe next time we'll come back on a motorboat. Okay, well, I can see a signal flashing indicating I only have 1 more minute left of tape, so I'll stop. Well, with the last few minutes of this video, I'll take a picture of Stefano going to shore to collect oysters here in Tikuranarm. They're all strewn on the beach there. And this also seems to be a sea lion colony. There were about 20 seals. About 20 seals hauled out on the rocks just here. And they all slipped. They were just laying around on the oysters, and they all slithered into the water just as we got here. I think you can see some of them just sitting there watching Stefano, saying, "What the hell are you doing here?" Well, according to the timer, there's just 60 seconds left. But we felt the water, and it's real warm, so we're going to go swimming later. This is the last night at anchor for Stefano. Tomorrow around noon I'll get him into Powell River, and then I'll be taking off by myself for a few days trip back to Anacortes. Just yeah, go over there. Maybe only a few more seconds left of this tape. There they are.
What survival time?
Okay, now you're going to go in and just enjoy it. Okay, go for it. We're up in Tikuranarm.
That's good.
All right, well, I think you've proven to everybody you can do it.
I made it. Now I'll write the book, How I Did It.
This is Roche Harbor, San Juan Islands. I sailed here single-handed from Powell River. I had a real easy crossing. I went directly from Powell River across the Straits of Georgia and through Gabriela Passage. I stayed in a little bay near Pirates Cove, and the next morning I sailed to Montague Harbor. After spending the afternoon and evening there, the next morning, which was yesterday, I sailed about 15 or 20 miles over here to Roche Harbor. Roche Harbor was a really jumping place. It just gets filled with boats. There's a nice old hotel on the shore just behind that power boat, and a restaurant. I had dinner there last night. And this morning I'm going to sail on to Friday Harbor. That's on Wednesday. No, I'm sorry, today is Tuesday. Tuesday, August 9th, I think. Yeah, Tuesday, August 9th. And then tomorrow I'll sail over either to Dave Crosby's, if he's still living there, on Shaw Island, or else to Anacortes, where on Thursday we'll pull the mast in the afternoon and load Dancer Friday morning. Being alone is kind of a nice experience. I don't have to do anything for anybody, and everything's at my own pace, so I have to slow down and ask, what is it that I really want to do? Yesterday I rented a moped for 2 hours and had a real good time driving around on San Juan Island. Maybe I'll do that again Friday Harbor today. Anyhow, that's Roche Harbor, August 9th, 1994.